and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Ray, and here on this channel I give you tips and hacks on how to navigate relationships and level up. Okay, so today's video is talking about 10 signs that show that you are in a dumpster. I have a word I've coined specifically for this channel and for my ladies, because being a dumpster or dumpstering is when you're using something or dating something that you should have already dumped in the bin. Now let's go. Number one, you feel downcast and laden with negative emotions from being with this person. So, for example, if your happy and secure moments are by far outweighed by the negative ones, you already know that you are doing something that your spirit or your system, your aura doesn't agree with, because women have an intuitive spirit, all right? We are giving that spirit of intuition. So you know when you're feeling quite low all the time, so frequently, you know that there's something about your relationship or situationship that does just not agree with your being. So fix it, all right? Fix it and go for the gold and glow up. Number two, if you need, this one I find quite ridiculous, if you need to ask a third party for validation and assurance of this person's feelings. Okay, let me break it down. You are with a person, you're dating this person, but you need to ask a third party for assurance. For example, do you think they like me? Look at his text. Like, we haven't spoken in 3 days. He hasn't called. He's away on a trip and he hasn't called for 3 days. Do you think he still likes me? Do you think he's doing something? You should know. You should be the one telling someone else, not asking them. So if you need to ask validation and assurance of this person's feelings, this one is absolutely ridiculous, because again, you'd expect that. We are adults, and adults are usually sensible and clever enough to read the room. However, a lot of you ask for external validation about the thing you shouldn't ask at all, which is the feelings of the person you're with. Because you're with this person, before you got with this person, you should have let them prove your worth to you. Let them show that they're obsessed with you. That's the least. Liking you is the least, and it's the barest minimum. You shouldn't even be with someone because they like you, because a lot of people are going to like you. Does that mean you're going to date them? The answer is no. So when you start asking for validation or assurances concerning their feelings towards you, you should hit the road already by then, all right? So number three is when you are always overdoing. A lot of women overdo, sadly. I think it's also society and our upbringing generally teaches us from a very young age that we should overgive, we should overcare, we should be nurturing, and we should give rather than take. So this is something that you may need to unteach and then teach yourself, okay? That insecure itch constantly pushing you to do something, to seek to call endlessly, to mother, to relentlessly obsess in order to be deemed worthy of affection or uplifting. So the more you don't take anything away from this video, I want you to take this. The more you magnify that person, the smaller you become. Profound, isn't it? The more you magnify the wrong person, the smaller you become. So you become more minute by the more effort you do. So by magnifying them is simply overdoing. By uplifting them, trying to do things that you think that by doing them you're going to impress, you're going to call so that they know that you care, you're going to send messages not endlessly so that they think you care, and that way you think they're going to reciprocate your feelings or your actions towards you. That is magnifying them, and the more you do that, the smaller you become. Number four, if you notice everything about the person you're with, and this is not playing games, I mean literally, if you notice everything about the person you're with and take note of every action they do, because it means you are not busy. Why are you not busy? Right? Why don't you have a pet project? Why don't you have a hobby to keep you interested and busy? Why go to the gym then? Go to the gym and burn calories, because then you're helping your life. You're staying in shape, at least physically and as well mentally. So because no one should be taking that much room in your mind. All right, so much so that you notice if they have not called or texted after a certain number of hours. It yields your power and authority, and in return you become easily triggered, because you become rage baited frequently. Because once they know that these things piss you off, if there are people who do not really care about you, and clearly this person doesn't, they will always do things that will rage bait you and draw you out to act in an unlikely manner or a manner that is out of character. So once you're doing this particularly, know that you're dumpstering and you need to stop. Okay. Number 5, you are unhappy when you are in the midst of happy couples. So this is a particular one that is more of a trigger. So when you're in the midst of happy couples, obviously they're sharing stories, they're being mushy, doing the things you wish you saw in your relationship. Even if it's just a girl who's in a happy relationship and she's talking about what her partner does for her and how he treats her, you become easily triggered and unhappy. This is because what they're talking about, all the traits you're seeing in their relationship, quote and unquote, don't mirror what you have in your own relationship. So it triggers you. It doesn't mirror what you see and you have in yours, and yet you have stayed. So it makes you quite unhappy. The 6th sign that you are in a dumpster is that you exhibit deep insecurity. A lot of this deep insecurity stems from the fear that you cannot do better. And you constantly tell yourself that this is the best you can do. So you keep saying that to yourself, you keep thinking it, and it's more like a way to keep you satisfied with your dumpstery situationship. So you keep telling yourself that you cannot do better and that it will get better. Where you are will get better. Well, realistically, it won't. Do you know why? Because if you feel this way in the early part of the relationship, which is supposedly a honeymoon phase, then the more you spend time with this person, the more comfortable in each other's presence and company, then it will get worse. Because the more people get comfortable, the more their unpleasant traits start to show. So if at the early parts of the relationship, or 6 months into it, or a year into it, you've already started seeing so much of this traits, then it means that it will only get worse. So if you keep telling yourself that it'll get better, he'll change, they'll change, or whatever, then honey darling, the honeymoon phase has actually made an exit. So it's you and your thoughts and your decision making. So you need to actually go for the gold and drop it back in the dumpster. Number 7 is you are relationship obsessed. This one is a proper ache to me. But again, I know we are different. People will be different. So if you're a woman who cannot handle the single era and you love your single phase, you will most likely be taken for granted and played. This is because it is highly important that each and every one of us embraces their single era. Why? Because in that single era, there's a lot of silence, and it allows for you to take deep retrospective look into yourself and decide for what you want to ebb out of and what you want to bring into, as well as build and develop yourself. There is absolute need for periods like this. These periods of singleness are absolutely essential for our growth, mentally, emotionally, psychologically, and spiritually as well. Now, where it's in this state also that you intensify self-love and development, and you reassess what you want in your future relationships, right? As well as in your life. Now, you also fall in love with yourself, your space, and you cleanse your energy. You purify your air, the air around you, for new and higher frequencies. But because you don't love your company, you notice that you jump in and out of relationships and you keep making the same mistakes over and over again. Unfortunately, it's cyclical at this point. You're not leaving room for yourself to learn and to breathe and actually decide what you do not want. So you keep recycling the same mistakes over and over again. This is how you solidify your dumpstering status, because honey, you're not making any changes. So go for gold and get the glow. And to finish off on this 7th point, there is nothing wrong with being single, especially when you're self-developing, you are leveling up your glow out journey, and you're getting to know yourself more, and you're getting to decide what you can or cannot tolerate in your next relationship. It is a growth valley. You need to cherish it and embrace it. Number 8, you make excuses. I've heard so many women say things like high achievers starve their women or partners of love, their presence and attention. And I'm thinking, were we not all here present looking how Jeff, who is one of the richest men on the planet, play around with his girlfriend, fiance and now wife Lauren? We were here for the past 3 or so years leading up to their marriage. We saw how that man, who is supposed to be one of the busiest humans on earth, had time to bulk up, to, you know, go to the gym, to do fun things with his girlfriend, and go on trips and do all of that. So it is all a lie. It's a false narrative that you tell yourself to get comfortable in that dumpstering era, because it's all false and it's a lie. A lot of people say it to you, but it is a bitter truth from the pit of hell. So my response to people when they say this is always the same damn thing, okay? If you're dumpstering and being a doormat for someone who's broke, you might as well dumpster for someone who's a high achiever, right? Instead of doing it for someone who's broke, disrespectful and ashy, you might as well be a doormat for a high achiever. Maybe, just maybe, something high will rub off on you, and you may just go for gold and glow, right? So if you are going to take that dumpstering someone who is broke and ashy, something you should have dumped in the dumpster already, and you're still dating them even though they're being disrespectful, ashy, broke and frustrating, you might as well do it for a high achiever, because I mean, in that case you will be at least winning in one aspect. Might as well make it count. Number 9, you are stuck in your ways. Okay, when you're dumpstering, trust me, I have been there. You count your blessings, but ignore and erase the countless times you've been betrayed. It's a dogma. I feel it's a dogma. People into dumpstering, they are always talking about, at least he does this, at least he calls me once in a while. I'm like, what, you're counting calling as something that is, how is that something huge? I thought that's just less than bare minimum. But this is the thing, counting your blessings, it blinds you from focusing on the harsh real part of your reality. It's like a comfort blanket that you sort of shield yourself from the harsh truth of your situationship. So you need to stop making those excuses, right? And get off your ass and do something and make that decision that your dumpstering era has to end. Number 10, and the final one, but not the least, you are ashamed. And I know, girl, I know it's difficult to say, but you're afraid to see or be seen by girls who have made better choices, and you then, and because you know that they've made better choices and they have better relationships, you then cut off these friends. You cut off most of these friends who may tell you the truth, because the truth is bitter. It's really bitter. So you reduce your circle until you find your kin. You find people who are like you, who are dumpstering, who are doing the most for the least type of people. And then once you find them, you guys, you know, you hang out together, you plan events together with your dumpsters, and then you share, you know, about stories, and you trauma dump on each other, and then you console yourselves. This is the bit that upsets me, right? You console yourselves that, oh, at least we have a man, we have a man, we have a this, we have a that, at least we have one. But some people, it's a decision for them that they would rather be alone than be with something that is unworthy of them. Because then your energy, your aura, your surrounding carries that positivity that you, as a high value woman, a woman who knows her worth, a woman who has got self-love and self-dignity, will have. You don't let it wash away, all in the name of, at least we have a man. So I know this is not the sort of thing you want to hear, but sometimes the truth is necessary. So if you think any one or two of these traits, you find it in yourself, then you need to take a proper retrospective look and see how you can either improve or get out of that situation, because the longer you stay in there, the more it messes with your mind, your spirit and your entire aura. So if you have not liked this video, and if you like what you're hearing, and if it's helping you in any way, tap the like button, subscribe as well, so that this video will be shared to other women, so that they too can hop on this level up and glow up journey. Do not forget, go for the gold all the time and go for glow. And thank you for watching. Do not forget to also turn on notifications, because I will be posting content and going live every week, so you don't want to miss it. See you in my next video. Ciao.